Hi, welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be very raw and probably a little emotional for me. And it's going to be very vulnerable because I'm going to talk about some things that I've not really talked about to anyone or most people about my spiritual journey. But I feel called to do this now. I'm getting messages from my guides and from Spirit to start talking about this. And, you know, if I'm going to be an effective spiritual healer, then I think the best way to do that is to share my experience, because, you know, what I have learned about people and teaching and coaching for many, many years is that we don't necessarily learn through words, but we learn through experience. And you know, storytelling is a very powerful thing, and sharing experiences so that, number one, you know you're not alone, and you know that if other people can do it, so can you. So I'm going to talk about a couple of different things. I'm going to talk about introduce some phrases that you may not have heard me talk about before. And one of those phrases is what's called a twin flame. And I found myself on a twin flame journey. I discovered it last year. And the purpose of a twin flame journey is to trigger such an emotional response that healing and wholeness becomes your desire, your greatest desire. And so if you're not familiar with this, it's kind of in the spiritual community, for those who have heard about this, it's kind of been romanticized as, you know, some romantic journey to meet the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams or your soulmate, and really and truly, all of the spiritual teachers will tell you that that's really not the goal of this journey. The goal is to become whole and one within. And I'm really finding that, you know, more and more to be true. Of course, in the beginning of the journey, I wanted to have union with a physical person that I perceive to be my counterpart. And that's becoming more and more clear, that is just not the goal. It's not what this journey is all about. This journey is about moving to unconditional love for yourself. And that's, when you've wanted something for so long, that's a hard pill to swallow, but it just, as you go along this journey, the process just unfolds, and it becomes clear that that is what is going to give you that happiness and that peace. And gosh, that is what I want at this point. So I'm starting a health plan today. I've just finished taking my beginning photos, and honestly, while they don't look like what I want them, my body doesn't look like what I know it can. But I was very loving with myself through the process. You know, I didn't look at the photos and go, oh my God, that's the worst thing ever. I'm going to share with you guys this whole journey. And for whoever's interested or watching, again, I don't know who's going to find this video. I don't know who's going to be helped by it, but my guides are calling me to do this. So here I am. It's very raw and vulnerable for me. But I'm 6 feet tall. I've been 6 feet tall since I was 13. So I have had body issues my entire life. You know, I was always bigger than everybody. I never had weight issues until my mid-20s. And even having a baby at 16, almost 17, I quickly got back to, you know, a really good, decent size. Of course, I was left with tons of stretch marks, and your body changes after you have a baby. And at 16, 17 years old, to be, you know, have all of this elastic looking skin, because of course I had a C-section, because my son was 10 pounds and 6 ounces when he was born. So, you know, it just left me with scars everywhere. So I've been very body conscious for a very long time. And this journey is really teaching me to love my body, and I'm really falling in love with my body for the first time in my life. And so anyway, when I was in my early 20s, still married to my first husband, he was very insecure, and I put on a lot of weight because there was a lot of emotional abuse, and there was a lot of controlling what I ate and how I ate was a lot of what he did. And so I put on a good bit of weight. I actually got up to my highest weight ever was 250 pounds. And when, you know, on a 6-foot frame, it's uncomfortable, but it's not, you know, nobody would have ever guessed that I weighed 250 pounds. And so anyway, I worked very hard at 25 to get that weight off. And I did. I lost 75 pounds and I got down to, you know, 175, which honestly is probably my most comfortable weight and puts me in about a size 8 outfit or pant size. So anyway, I stayed between 170 and 190 for years and years and years and years. You know, we'd go up a little bit. Of course, my dad died, so I gained a little bit of weight. Then I lost it again. And then, you know, just throughout the years, I would go up, but always stayed under 200. And then when Charlie, my boyfriend who had cancer, and he passed away in December of 2013. And fortunately now he's one of my spirit guides. And we've had past lives together, so Charlie and I are close. He's part of my soul family. He might show up, do a little trick on this video. We'll see if he makes an appearance. Anyway, he's a trickster. He likes to play jokes and do funny things, so we'll see if he shows up. Anyway, so when he was diagnosed and got bedridden, and you know, we were eating things, whatever he wanted, because he was terminally ill, and he believed that his diagnosis was terminal, and it proved to be so. So we ate all kinds of things that, you know, you wouldn't normally find yourself eating. And I was very sedentary because we were laying in bed because he just couldn't move, and there was a lot of non-activity. So as hard as I tried to maintain you know, physical activity, spending time with him was more important. And also there was a lot of alcohol, there was a lot of wine, a lot of drinking, just to numb the pain. This was, you know, obviously before I was on this journey awakened. So anyway, the weight got pretty bad. I got up to about 235 pounds. And in April of 2016, I said, I've had enough. I want this weight off. And I got all the way down to, I lost 35 pounds and got down to 200, and then fell in love with a guy, and what I perceived to be my divine counterpart, and maintained between 200 and 210 quite regularly for about a year. And then the weight crept on after we broke up, and I started on this journey. And so, you know, some of this could be, you know, they say ascension creates your body changes and so forth. But, you know, the bottom line is that I have a very, very strong desire to give up alcohol, to give up a lot of meat, and just to go on this journey of, and it's not about losing weight, it's about transforming my vibration. And that's kind of a different perspective than I've ever had before. You can't have a high vibration in your body and your emotion if you're feeding it with low vibration stuff. And so I want to transform my vibration. And I know that in doing that, one of the side effects to that will be a slimmer, healthier, toner body. Because I will be in vibrational alignment with it at that time. So that's how I got here. And today I weigh 230 pounds, and I just did all of my measurements. I just did my weight this morning, and I feel, my body feels heavy. It feels dense. I don't feel fat, but I feel dense. I feel stuck. I just feel icky. And it's because I'm not treating my body with the love and respect that it deserves. And I desperately want to make that change. So, all right, here I am. I also am a huge believer in metaphysical healing, that we create dis-ease through our energetic, emotionally hanging on to energetic things. And so I'm going to zoom in real quick because I want to show you this loveliness that has shown up on my nose. I had one here that I successfully manifested it to go away. And so now I've got this one that I've started doing some work on. And I don't know what it is, don't care what it is, but it's uninvited, and it is, it's being released. I'm asking it to go. And so I want to chronicle the journey for my vibrational alignment to a healthy, happy body. I'm not going to call it weight loss because that's not what this is about. This is about vibrational alignment. And I also want to chronicle the removal, metaphysically, mind you. There will be no surgical procedure. There will be no doctors involved. There will be no discussion, no consultation. This is going to be 100% through yoga, meditation, and mindfulness, setting the intention of returning my body to its natural state, which is pure love, joy, ease, flow, health, and happiness. So that's what this journey is going to ultimately show. I will at some point share with you guys, once I've had some time to work on my vibration. I will share with you, the photos of before and during and after and so forth. And I suspect that this process is probably going to take about 2 months, is what I'm anticipating, that I could have my vibration fully restored in harmony and balance in about 2 months' time. And so it's going to be a practice of deep meditation, energetically releasing old hurts, old wounds. There'll be some inner child work. I'll probably end up doing some past life regression work. And I'm also going to be doing some, of course, changing the vibration of the foods that I eat, eating higher vibrational stuff like fruits and vegetables, and eating less meat, and drinking no alcohol, and having, water and tea instead of coffee and creamer and all of those kinds of things. So that's what this journey is about. It's about managing vibration. And, I had a really bad night. This process of cleansing, purging, and clearing is really, it's challenging. Part of being a twin flame is recognizing that the soul mission is to be a light worker and to be a helper to others that are seeking wholeness and ascension and awakening. And so I'm thrilled. This journey is an amazing blessing, and I'm so incredibly grateful for it. But I got to tell you guys, it is really challenging at times, and trying to balance manage my vibration and purge at the same time has proven to be difficult, because I just have never been a big crier. I'm a venter. I like to vent and get things out, but I've never really purged with crying, and that's something that I've gotten more comfortable with. And I'm becoming more sensitive to the moon cycles and the moon energies, and that's something that's been really interesting and helpful at the same time. So I've noticed I've gotten to a place now where I just really want to be free. I want to be emotionally free. I want to remove the these unhealthy chains of attachment and codependency to my divine masculine counterpart. I want to remove those chains. I want him to be free to live his life and do what makes him happy, and I want to be free to do the same thing for myself. And I'm stuck. I've been stuck. I've been healing. And all of this develops, guys, as sort of like layer upon layer, and then you open another layer, and then another layer, and so forth. And so you can't do it wrong. And for those of you who are also finding yourself either on a twin flame journey or just on a spiritual journey itself, you can't do it wrong. How you choose to do your healing and purging and releasing is in divine alignment for what your soul needs. So don't compare your path to anyone else's. Only compare to from how you feel today from how you felt last week, and watch yourself being less triggered. And even though I did get triggered the other night, immensely, very harshly triggered, it's very different than the way that it was before. I handled it very differently, even though it still was not a fun process and it was rather ugly. It was way better than the triggering that I had experienced in even just a year ago. I've only been on this journey now for like 15 months. So it's very eye-opening. I did notice a shift in some things that I believed and did ever since 2012 when, the big purge started for the collective. But I'm definitely noticing in the last 15 months a much, much different process. And what's interesting is I had no idea anything. I'd never heard the word twin flame, and I was on Pinterest one day, and this was after the breakup and what I call the midlife shift. And so my twin and I are in separation, and I had no idea what this whole concept was, and I was on Pinterest looking up recipes, and over in the corner there was a post about twin flames, and I was like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that. I never searched for it. I had no idea. It literally showed up on my iPad, and so I clicked on it, and it was an article about how, the signs that you're in a twin flame relationship, or that you've met your twin flame. And I was like, oh my God, that describes my relationship with this person to the T. And so that's when I realized and asked Spirit for signs and got confirmation after confirmation after confirmation, and developed my intuition. And there's no doubt in my mind that I am on a twin flame journey. There's no doubt that I have met my divine masculine, my counterpart. There's no doubt that these triggers are for my highest good and for my ascension. And I'm getting less and less concerned about whether we'll ever come into physical union together. I honestly, at this point, and I may change my mind in 3 weeks. I may never change my mind. That's what this process, this journey is all about. I've had so much unfold, and I've had so many different roller coaster of emotions about it. At this point right now, I want to be released from this. I want to pursue my inner union and my wholeness, which truly is what this journey is about. It's about balancing the divine masculine and feminine energies inside each of us and becoming one as a whole person, not needing love from outside. It's identifying and truly embracing a position of unconditional love from within. And I want that. I want that release of codependency. One of my favorite things that I've learned is the word moksha. And I learned it from Deepak Chopra. I did a class online with him. And moksha is to be emotionally free. And I want to be emotionally free. I don't want to be chained to these feelings of needing or wanting something outside of my control. That's not being free. And I want to be free. I absolutely, no question, love and adore my twin. I only wish him absolute best happiness and success. And if that means being with someone else, then so be it. I want to be free of this feeling of incompleteness. I want to be free from feeling of abandonment and feeling of loss. I want that more than anything at this point. And I don't even care if he and I ever come into physical union together. I want this freedom for myself. I want to take the chains off. And, you know, it's interesting because the devil card has been showing up a lot in my personal readings. And it's the ego card. It's the attachment. It's the false feeling of being stuck. And on the traditional tarot, the devil card shows, you know, this devil figure, and then in front of it is these two people, a feminine and a masculine, and they've got these chains, and they're loosely hanging around the neck. And so it's like all you have to do is literally grab the chain and take it off, and you're free. But there's this feeling, this false perception that this chain is real and that you're stuck, and that this devil has hold of your life. And so part of that for me is, you know, releasing negative, low vibrational foods, releasing alcohol, releasing dependency on, you know, needing approval outside of myself. And that's, now that my spirit guides are saying, and that's part of what this video, I guess this is a vlog, what this video journey is about, is really giving me the opportunity to put myself out there and not be attached to what anyone says. And, you know, it's interesting because I'm not even really concerned about negative comments, because that's not a vibrational thing for me. I don't expect anyone to respond to this negatively. And if someone does, then I will just simply send them love. But I think this is just, I have always been a person who people just perceived had it all together. And the truth is, I don't have it all together. I don't. I'm not even freaking close to having it all together. I have had a lot of really magical, beautiful things happen in my life due to an understanding of manifesting and law of attraction and positive thinking. But I by no means have all of my life put together. But I'm not a kind of person that goes on Facebook and, you know, does this my life sucks type of thing and please come pay attention to me, and I don't do that. And I'm not putting anyone down if that's something that you do or that you've done. You know, my goal in this is to really showcase the freedom that comes from being detached from what other people think, detached from needing approval outside of myself, detached from needing love outside of myself, to becoming a whole, stable, balanced, harmonious person. My goal is to experience a level of satisfaction more of the day than not. Contrast is not a bad thing. Okay, I mean, a lot of times in this spiritual teachings, it's like, oh, you need to be zen and happy all of the time. And the truth is, our universe is an attraction-based universe, which means contrast is part of the formula. Because you have to have contrast to know what it is that you don't want so that you can accurately reach for what it is that you do want. So when you can get to a level of appreciation for contrast, that is awakening. You know, that's really the goal, is not to be blissfully happy 24 hours a day. It's to know that contrast is part of the big picture and that it's helpful, and to be grateful for that contrast when it shows up in your life and say, oh, look, here's something I don't want. First of all, there's a lesson here for me. What can I learn from it? And secondly, that means something that I do want is just around the corner. This is awesome. That is, that's a beautiful place. So I want to go back to my yoga practice that I started and then quickly abandoned when, life got a little bit complicated. So I want to strengthen my yoga practice, get back to doing that. I want to explore, eating more fruits and vegetables and different types of foods. And I'm even noticing that some meats are giving me the real heaviness after I eat them. So I'm really finding that my body is asking for this purge. And I want to feel better. I want my skin to look better. I want to restore my youthful glow. And I've noticed that, this eclipse season has been very harsh on the energy has been harsh, and I have responded low vibrationally to it. And so instead of maintaining a healthy weight, I've put on some weight. And instead of, maintaining that youthful glow, I have really been not sleeping as well. I've just not been taking care of myself in a way that I know that I'm capable of. And so I want to be moksha. I want to be physically free from ailments. I want to be physically free from low vibrational feelings and emotions in my body. I want to be physically free from pains and aches. And I want to be financially free. I want to be free from the chains of debt. I want to be free from feeling lack. I want to be emotionally free. I want to be one with Source. I want to be whole and complete in knowing that I trust my intuition, I trust this journey, that I'm divinely guided and protected. When I get triggered, because I've really transformed the landscape of my life, and I'm not doing a lot of things that are familiar to me. It's very uncomfortable. It's definitely challenging in pushing I'm out of my comfort zone entirely, especially like doing this video. I'm completely out of my comfort zone, and it's okay. I don't feel any heaviness about doing this or going on this journey. I'm actually quite excited about it. I'm sure I'm going to have ups and downs on the road to this wholeness and healing, but I want to share as much of it as possible with you. So I'm just going to put this out there because then accountability makes it happen. And that's the other thing for doing this. I'm going to start doing some morning meditations. And I thought about it and I'm like, gosh, I live at the ocean. Why am I not at the ocean every morning doing a meditation and sharing it with anyone who would like to participate? So that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to doing. I definitely want to strengthen and build my yoga practice. I want to lift weights. I love lifting weights. I'm not a runner. I do like to be outside, but I'm really not. My goal is not to become, a marathon runner, but I may do some running. I may do some kickboxing. I may do some of those kinds of things, just because exercise is such a great release of energy. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about this journey. And for any of you on the twin flame journey. I would love to hear from you, how this resonates, how you can relate, any tips that you have on changing your diet, on changing your physical activity level, manifesting anything that you've encountered along your journey. I'm very anxious and excited to hear about it. But yeah, so I don't know. I haven't really decided if I'm going to do a daily log or a weekly log or how this is going to all play out. But this is going to be the first of many videos showcasing this journey for me. So I guess I will stand up and you can see I'm in these clothes too. These are very uncomfortable for me to wear, but this is so you can see, you know, what I'm starting with and chronicle this journey. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments, likes, subscribes, support. You know, being a spiritual teacher, this I feel is a necessary part of the journey, is being open and vulnerable about my ascension process. So thank you. Any kind words you have would be very grateful and appreciated. I send you love and lots of healing energy. So thank you. I'll see you soon.